the first stream of 2025 for me. And I want to kick it off talking about goals. Goals. Like, how many people say this every single year? New year, new me. I'm about to do this. I'm going to do that. Now, me being in, my field of work, I always get people who do this. They always say that they want to change something about themselves, like change their body, change their physique. And they always come to me with these extraordinary goals. And I'm like, man, like, first of all, you guys need to be a little bit more realistic, because it takes a long time to accumulate, weight and some of the unhealthy habits that people have adopted over the course of years from bad habits. Takes a while to, get rid of that stuff. So it's not something that can be done quick, fast, in a hurry. So I always try to encourage people this time of the year. I don't want to discourage anybody, but I'm going to always tell the truth. But I don't want to make people feel lesser than. I want people to believe in themselves, but I also want them to be realistic as well. So I have talked, like, in person, I've talked to like several people about this, because I take the beginning of the year as an opportunity to get people to look at things from different perspectives. Because it's one thing to say that you want to do something. It's another thing to actually do it and see it through. How many of you, if you feel comfortable saying it in the chat, that you said you had a goal that you wanted to achieve for the new year, but it didn't happen? Let's just say it if you're comfortable, that is. Because I know that I've been in that position before. A lot of people that I know have been in that position before, and it's not a good feeling. It doesn't set the stage properly for the new year, especially if you're coming out of a year not really achieving the goal in which you had already set the previous year. So what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about how to actually reach goals. This could be anything, folks. It doesn't have to be fitness related, although I know that's probably like one of the bigger goals for people. It could be anything. Like, I'll give you an example. So for me, let me see. So I bought a lot of books, right, last year. I bought a lot of books. So I got all of these books here that I purchased. And my goal this year is to just knock them all out, right? Because I like knowledge. I like to learn. I like to become better. I already actually finished this one right here. And I'm always striving to become just a better person all the way around, And in order to do that, sometimes you have to expand your knowledge, expand your wisdom, so that you can, be able to like acquire something to give to somebody. To me, that's the best aspect of knowledge, learning, and to give to people. So in order for me to be able to read as many books as possible, I need to figure out how many books I want to read per month. And when I do that, I'll figure out a strategy to be able to make sure I'm able to do it. Okay, so here are the key points to successfully achieving a goal in which you may have, all right? Number one, write down whatever it is you want to achieve, all right? Write down your goals. You would be surprised at how many people do not do this. Like, literally, there are so many people who don't write down their goals. They don't write them down. They know what they want to do, but it stays in their cranium. It stays up here. Folks, we have like 10,000 plus thoughts every day. All day long, we have so many thoughts. And out of those 10,000 plus thoughts, there's that one idea that you have that can potentially take you places. But unfortunately, we end up forgetting because of all of the other thoughts and all of the other things in which we've allowed into our minds. Okay? This is why it's so important to write it down. Like, the percentage is between 60 to 75%, I believe, studies show. If you write something down, there's a 60 to 75% chance that it's going to get done. All right? But if you don't write it down, it's less than 20% that it'll get done. You do the math. You do the math. It's just like school, for instance. Like in school, you know, if you go to college, you sit there in front of the professor. The professor is giving the lecture. He's giving some sort of like speech. And it's all important information. You know, obviously professors are intelligent. They're smart. Why would you not want to write down what these men and women have like spent their whole life's worth doing? Why would you not want to write it down? So I want to encourage people, whatever it is you want to do, write it down. You know, if you want to read 50 books this year, write it down. You want to work out, lose about 20 pounds, write it down. If you want to travel, okay, where do you want to go? Write it down. All right, just anything in which you have on your mind that you want to do, jot that thing down, really. Had a goal last year of learning a new program, but I never got to it. Hopefully with the new Mac, when Amazon decides to deliver it. What? Amazon's keeping it hostage? What do you think stopped you from doing it, Guru? You have a specific language. Oh yeah, you're talking to Guru. Yeah. So all right, number one key point. Write it down, folks. Write down whatever it is you want to do. Number two, plan out how you want to achieve it. Plan out how you want to achieve it. So it's one thing to write down our ideas and the things we want to do, but there's a whole nother aspect when it comes to creating a blueprint to make it happen. That right there, I mean, somebody could want a house, build a house. You can write down, I want to build a house in 2025. Awesome. Now, how are you going to make that happen? You got to start thinking about stuff like contractors. You got to start thinking about where you want to put it. You got to start thinking about how many bedrooms do you want, bathrooms, the landscape, all these different things you need to think about in order to make it happen. Now, I know that's a bit of a huge goal that the mass majority of us probably is not trying to do right now. I don't know. Some of you might be trying to build a house this year for all I know. Who knows? But you want to write down how you want to do it. Okay? Planning. What's that old saying? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Crafty, we've been talking about this for the last 2 days, right? Where there is no vision, people perish. Write down your vision. Doesn't matter how silly it may sound to other people. It don't have to make sense to nobody else. Doesn't have to make sense to anyone. It's just as long as it makes sense to you. That's all that matters. Write it down, plan it out. Put a timeline on it. Okay? That's actually one of the other ones. Let me stop before I get too ahead of myself. Python is kind of cool. Haven't delved up deeper there. I've been working in TypeScript. Oh, y'all guys talking about computers. Y'all talking about computers. That's what's up. But yeah, plan it out, folks. I can't tell you what to plan and how to plan it. Only thing I can tell you is whatever it is, whatever your goal is, try hard to envision how you're going to make it happen and how you're going to execute it. So key point number 3 is be intentional about your plans. This one is so important to me. Like, I didn't put these in any type of order as far as importance, but this one is so important to me personally, because I find that when I'm not intentional, and that's the key word I want everybody to like kind of remember. When I find I'm not intentional, I don't get anything done. Nothing if I'm not intentional about it. But the moment I focus and I get laser, just locked in on something and determined, it happens. It happens. The moment I get locked in and intentional about something, it happens. I find that what the kryptonite, I'll say, to intentionality is distractions. Okay? The kryptonite to intentionality is 100% distractions. People get so distracted with things in this life that they don't get to do the things in which they truly want to do. Social media distracts us all the time. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat. That's for kids. And whatever else is out there. YouTube. I'm gonna use YouTube too, because YouTube can be a double-edged sword. It can be educational, but it can also drain your time too. A lot of us consume hours upon hours of social media, and it just hurts our productivity. And it causes us to not do the things in which we truly need to be doing, which, again, is a kryptonite for intentionality. But it doesn't always have to be social media. It could be people. You might be around people who just don't take life seriously, people who are doing things that are the complete opposite of what you're doing, and they're just constantly like pulling you further and further away from your goals. And then before you know it, it'll be like 4 months into the year and you haven't even crawled, let alone got up on your feet when it comes to reaching your goals. So you have to eliminate everything. Like, if it's something that you know you struggle with, like if you set a goal and you want it to happen, and you've set this goal in previous years and it didn't happen then, you may actually have to go dark. You might have to like shut people down. Like, listen, I got to get this done. And I may have to like go ghost on some people. I may have to like deactivate my socials. I might have to stop going out. I might just have to like get away so I can focus on what it is I really need to do. So if you're not being intentional about anything, don't even plan. The planning's not going to work. Writing them down is not going to work if you're not intentional, or going to be intentional, should I say, when it comes to actually executing the plan. Carlos says, we geeking out, don't mind us. Y'all good. I love it when the chat talks to each other. You know, I'm up here, trying to give some advice too. And the key points, if y'all didn't know, the key points will be uploaded on my YouTube channel, Thoughts to Reality. Just like last Monday, we uploaded the key points over there too. So if you missed some here, you can be able to watch them over there. This year, I've got 2 goals: learn a bit about Python 2, find a side job that's doable, leveraging AI. Okay, I like the last 2 ideas because I don't know what Python is, but a side hustle, side job, I definitely need to do that. It's got to be something online for me, something online, and leveraging AI. I definitely am in for that. So if you find any ideas, in fact, it was you, Guru, that gave me like the great idea of utilizing AI to write my descriptions for YouTube. So if it wasn't for you telling me that, I probably would still not have a description in my captions in my description, or I will be just halfway doing this. A victim of brain rotting scrolling reels, need to improve on that. It's not just you, Guru. It's a lot of us, man. Like, for the most part, I don't scroll a lot with the reels and the shorts, but every now and then it will catch me. That wave will catch me, and I will end up, falling into that bad habit of just watching too many reels and too many shorts. I'm trying to teach my kids to avoid getting too much into scrolling shorts. It's a serotonin trap. It's a killer of long form content too, Carlos. Like, on YouTube, they try really hard to tell people to make shorts and shorter videos and things like that. But I think that really hurts people when it comes to their attention span and expanding their knowledge too. Like, you can only learn so much from a 5-minute video versus a 25-minute video. Now it's like if somebody uploads a 30-minute video, people are like, oh my gosh, it's a 30-minute video. Let me skim through it. Let me try to get through it as fast as I can in order to get what it is I need. And it sucks that it's like that now. But I got one more key point. So if you missed the first couple of key points, and if you're watching this and you're lurking in the background, I want to thank you so much for watching and thank you for lurking. I appreciate you so much. We're talking about how to reach goals in 2025. I have key points here that can help you if you apply them. Number 1, write down your goals. I know that sounds elementary. I know it sounds silly. But again, studies show between 60 to 75% of people that write down their goals actually achieve them. And to me, that's pretty high. So write down whatever it is you want to achieve. Number 2, plan out how you want to do it. So you got to create a plan. You got to create a strategy, folks. There's work that needs to be done. So just writing your goals down on paper is not enough. You can write them down, but if you don't plan it out, the only thing you'll be doing is sitting there just looking at it, just hoping that it just jumps off the page and onto manifestation in reality, when that's just not going to happen, all right? Number 3 is be intentional about it, executing the plans and being intentional. Number 4, make a timeline. Make timelines. If you don't make a timeline as far as when you want to get something done, you will not get it done. You got to apply some sort of pressure to yourself. If there's no pressure, there is no progress. I'm going to say it again. If there is no pressure, there is no progress. You need pressure in all aspects of life to get things moving. Okay? So adding a timeline to your goals it's a subconscious way of adding pressure and ensuring that I gotta hurry. I got 6 months to get this done. So if you got 6 months to get something done, every day that you have is critical. Every week that you have is critical. There's only 4 weeks in a month. There's only 7 days in a week. Only 24 hours in a day. And only so many of them that you're up. Okay? 8 to 10 of those you're working. Another 8 you should be sleeping, and then the rest, whatever other priorities you have, and then you have to fit in what it is you want to do to achieve the goals. Make the timeline. We don't have time to waste. We don't have time to be scrolling on Facebook and social media. We don't have time to be watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I watch YouTube too, but I don't think that, check your YouTube history, folks. Look at your YouTube history. How many videos do you think you watch a day? And how many of those videos are actually helping you reach your goals? Not saying anything is wrong with entertainment. It is okay to have a little bit of entertainment here and there, but to indulge in it too much can put you in a bad situation and cause you to not be able to reach your goals. Entertainment, if you look it up by definition, means diversion. Diversion. Just saying. The last key point that I have here when it comes to becoming more successful in this year and achieving your goals is applying accountability. Okay? Accountability. People have been saying this a lot lately, that they want to move in silence and they don't want to say anything to anybody. They just want to do it undercover. I feel like you have to be a certain type of person to be able to do that. You got to have an incredible amount of discipline, an incredible amount of patience, resilience to be able to do things and literally not tell anybody. But the mass majority of people, you need to tell somebody what it is you're doing. And it's got to be somebody that you trust, somebody that cares about you and your goals, and not just some random stranger somewhere. If you can do that, then you have an accountability system to ensure that you don't fail. Somebody to stay on you, to light the match, so to speak, to call you and to text you and to check up on you, to make sure that you are actually working towards what it is you said you're going to do. Because there's nothing worse than than telling somebody that you're going to do something and then you don't do it, not following through. Nobody wants to be known as that person that just talks. Nobody wants to be known as that person. And because none of us really want to be known as that person, we need to do what it is we need to do to avoid that. So having an accountability system is a great way of ensuring that somebody stays on you and helps you along the way. Don't try to do it by yourself, because a lot of people, they claim that they got it and they can do it in silence, but they don't. And the only reason they don't tell anybody is because they fear failure. And if they fail, they'll only have to look at themselves in the mirror and not have to face anybody else. And those right there are the key points, folks. Hopefully y'all heard them. Hopefully you wrote them down.